It is said that success comes from taking the initiative and following up persisting. What simple action could you take today to produce a new momentum towards success in your life? With that, we begin with our today's session, which is Wiki Presents, the Human Resource Forum, and we have our lovely guest with us. Her name is Miss Nisha Bora. Let me introduce Nisha to all of you. Ms. Nisha Vora, she's the director of Avenues HR and On the Job with 15 years of experience in hiring for blue chip corporates. Using this experience, Nisha decided to help students find career of the passion by building India's largest and fun career discovery platform, On the Job, which helps students and job seekers from classroom to boardroom. They do this through experiential learning, industrial visits, corporate mentor, workshops on future skills, resume building, and psychometric tests. With that, I welcome Ms. Nisha on Wiki platform. Thank you so much for joining us today evening.
Thank you so much, Mamta. Thank you. Thank you,
And,
Anamika. Yeah.
and we also welcome our moderator for today evening, Ms. Anamika Agarwal Shah. She's a life coach and mentor, and she's the director of Enhance Your Powers Within. So, before we begin and deep dive with the topic today, what we are going to discuss, I would like to know from Nisha, how did you and when did you started your journey as an entrepreneur, and now what you've been doing?
Okay. Yeah. So it's been a very, very interesting journey. And maybe, they say 20 years back, if you would ask me what I would be doing, or if I would be doing this, I would have no clue. Because I am qualified to be a software engineer. I am from Chennai and I got married in Bombay. And, that was a phase where I completely lost myself because even when you take a 2 to 3 years break in the field of IT, you are just thrown away because we learned coding on DOS platforms and thing, and then the Windows came about, and every I think 6 months there is something new happening in the IT field, and 3 to 4 years if you're out of touch there, it goes completely haywire. And plus, the job demanded a lot of travel and number of hours which at that point of time I couldn't put in because then of course we as women we have our we go on the family way and have our kids, and we so think about kids growing up and we're looking for something where we can balance the whole piece. And so
Yeah.
that is how I stumbled into human resource, and I just loved this experience. I started with classes for kids of IT classes, and then since my communication was pretty decent and things, somebody introduced me to this wonderful world of human resource. And that is how I got empaneled with this company called Ernst& Young. And so that's how my journey started. So this was something flexible which I could do, managing my kids, my home, and and it started, and there's been no looking back because I was really enamored by the wonderful people that were there in the corporate world, the kind of minds, the thought process that was there. And so it's been a journey of almost 15 years into executive search. We also have set up human HR systems in a lot of companies, SMEs, etc. And a couple of years back, as I was guiding my kids towards their career paths, I said, this is the experience which the students are actually looking for. It's not about just randomly deciding that this country is what I want to go to and this course. They need to understand what kind of careers could suit them, suit their psyche, suit their personalities, suit their abilities and skill sets. And so I got myself a UCLA certification. And so since then, I've been helping and mentoring a lot of students who want to be here, want to go abroad, and also we want to act as a bridge with my experience and connection in the corporate world. So we bring in a lot of corporate speakers, corporate mentors, so that students can get the right part to their lives and their careers.
It's fantastic. I think uh, training the young minds would definitely get them to a right place later on. and you've been doing this excellent initiative you're working on, and we have all our best wishes towards that. Now I welcome Miss Anamika to directly start with the topic, so that we
Yes, of
spend
course.
maximum time what we are going to deliver and value add to the viewers, basically. Thank you.
Sure.
Yes, yes. Welcome everyone. Welcome all the viewers here, and thank you, Mamta. Also, thank you, Nisha, for joining us. It's been an inspiring journey of what we have been hearing. Okay, so now HR, for me and for you and for everyone, we can always conclude it as the backbone or the life of any organization, correct? So like what you are into. So just to understand the whole topic, we have to dive into the main topic, is that we are looking for changing scenarios with this whole era of pandemic, basically. So we are focusing today on the era of pandemic. What have you been kind of witnessing all through?
Okay, so Anamika, there have been there have been a lot of revelations which have come forward in this pandemic, especially. See, one thing I just like to state about the markets, the job markets, is over the period of years, the rate of the speed of change has increased. So earlier, there were Fortune 500 companies which were on the Fortune 500 list for say 500 years, or say 100 years at least, 500 years, or then it came down to 70 years, it came down to 50 years. Nowadays, 20 years and 10 years, the rates are changing. So even if you have achieved the status of a Fortune 500, there is no guarantee that you are going to be you are going to be there for even the next 2 years, 3 years. Even now, today, the Google might be at top and Apple might be at top, but unless they are on the all lookout of innovation, unless they are changing with the times,
Yes.
they can be thrown out the next day. The best examples have been Nokia, the examples have been Kotak. They have been the top of their
Yes.
trade, but but they've been thrown out. And this whole process is accelerated more in the pandemic. In the pandemic, people have realized this more. So the change has been happening over the period of years, and like I said, the rate of change has increased, say even in the last 10 years. But in this last 2 years, the rate of change is gone to an exponential level. And there have been so many changes that have have been there. And so, can I highlight some of the changes
Yes, please.
which I have seen in the job scenario? So the number one change, what we're going to be seeing in the future is we are moving towards a gig economy, right? So gig economy is some like temp economy, or gig economy is temporary jobs. So when I say temp jobs, people they get this phobia. Oh my God, am I never going to be sure of my job? I mean, today it's going to be there, tomorrow it's not going to be there, which we've seen in the pandemic that people have thing. But now more and
Yes.
more now gig economy has become a part and parcel of our lives. It's going to be in the next few years. So earlier gig was restricted to say IT jobs. It was restricted to the lower level, the say the blue collar employees. So for example, a Uber or a Swiggy, the delivery people, they are the ones who will be put on the thing when the season is high. They'll employ more people. When the season is low, like a low, then they will let go of a lot of employees. But now that particular scenario has moved to mainstream, has moved to
Okay.
the top end jobs as well. So, for example, I'm into IT recruitments. So, right now, a lot of people are getting into digital transformation. A lot of
Hmm.
people are putting their processes on the cloud or cloud platform and stuff like that. So these
True.
are very niche skill sets, which could be costing anything like a 50, 60 lakh of pay package and stuff like that. So people cannot afford to have those people on their payrolls permanently. And also, plus it's a short kind of a thing. So what happens once your process is already transformed? What do you do then? What do you do with that person? So now people are getting all most of my clients that I'm working with, like say a Deloitte, a BDO, are getting people on contract to hire. So these are 6 months, 1 year contracts and stuff like that. So like I said earlier, though there was a phobia, now people have kind of made peace with this thing, and they have found other ways and means. So now they're looking at the silver lining in this entire piece. So even so, when you're holding a gig job, you can hold 2 to 3 jobs at a time. You can hold things. You are not bound under anything that you cannot work for. Like if you're a digital marketer right now, You can be having 3 to 4 clients at a time, and or you could be doing a job on a weekday, and you can be doing something else on a weekend. Like for example, I know a lot of people who might be digital marketeers, and on the weekend they are trek instructors, and they are teaching violin and things. So now it's also another silver lining is that now you're able to pursue your hobbies, you're able to pursue your passions and make that your profession. Like you can see the number of food entrepreneurs that have blossomed up in the COVID times, right? So now gig is one particular scenario that is here to stay, and people will be working around it. The second scenario that I would like to highlight is like now the world is become our stage. So earlier, if I was hiring people, I'm in Andheri, Mumbai, so I would only look at my catchment area, people who can come by train and travel to my office, and that was restricted to that. Now I can right now I'm having freelancers who are working from Delhi, and somebody's working from Siliguri, and so the talent can come from anywhere. Also, like you can be here in India, you can be working for the Google, and you can be working for the Microsoft without having to deal with the visas and you H1B visas, or all the norms that need to take you to another country, staying away from your family and stuff like that. So because most of so now people have woken up to the fact that a lot of, in fact, 60, 70, I mean, so many jobs can be done online. So many jobs can be done from home. So many jobs can be done sitting in front of the computer. So the talent can be coming from anywhere. The talent can be coming from anywhere. So this kind of opens up the world to us. It opens up the opportunities to us. Even as a trainer, you would have realized that earlier you might be, looking to go and book a banquet hall, and then, oh my, till those n number of footfalls are there. Now your footfalls can come from Dubai and can come from Singapore. So the world has become our stage. So that is the number 2 scenario that we are seeing, that the job scenario that is seen. And I think the number 3, which I'd like to mention, is, now people have realized that we need to have multiple sources of income. I mean, putting all your eggs in one basket, even however strong your basket may be, is not good enough. And because today what is working might not be working tomorrow. So, I mean, it's important that people, see, this has given it's given a whole courage and confidence to all of us. Earlier, the minute something what we are used to doesn't work, we used to get paralyzed. This is not working. Oh my God, what am I going to do? And, this whole thing. But now I've seen a huge amount of resilience in people. They're thinking, okay, this is not working, so let me see what next. What next can I try? And the people who are not being resilient, who are not being able to pick up their, dust themselves up and go, are the ones who have suffered. Maybe you're hearing of a lot of mental stress and emotional. I mean, no doubt, I'm not saying that it's not there, but then overall, like. It's also again, I'm always trying to point out the silver lining that people can, if you can handle this, I can handle anything. So that has become the kind of attitude which people are having. So like I said, so whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you are a professional, or whether you're a student, so the two to three things that you will face in the future careers is, number 1 is it's going to be a lot of gig. You will have to have multiple sources of income. The world is your stage, so you can go anywhere and you can work and think. Number 4, one more just last thing I'd like to point out is everything has become interdisciplinary. So earlier, if I'm an HR person, I should know only HR. That's it. But now, like how much of all of us have to learn digital marketing. All of us have to learn Instagram and Facebook. Everybody has to become a marketer. And, we have, even before the pandemic, we had a lot of these corporate people coming and talking to students. So, I had this guy from JP Morgan come and talk to City College. And though he was a finance guy, all he was talking about is robotic automation process, and he was talking about ERPs and cloud. So a finance guy was looking like an IT lecture, basically. So it is like now a marketing guy needs to work with data, a finance guy needs to work with IT. So multidisciplinary is what is important. So if people understand these trends and, accordingly, you work towards your career, and accordingly you work towards your business, or you prepare for your life. So So I mean, if you follow these, if you adapt this kind of a mindset, then you can survive and you can in fact thrive, and maybe you can hit upon something which you never thought earlier was possible.
Yes, of course. So change is what we all are into and always will be, is the the message from you. Okay, so now since you just mentioned about thriving, the careers, like for these all thriving careers, could you also elaborate how does one prepare themselves,
Mhm.
for getting
So
their career on? Yes.
okay,
For,
so so we can do whenever we are looking at something. There's always a hard skills part, like and the soft skills part.
yes.
Being in HR, we've heard these terms so much about the hard skills and the soft skills. When a person is kind of trying to prepare for a scenario which is maybe known, and like I said, maybe unknown, because you don't know sometimes what is going to happen over the next 5 years, even if you're so superly well qualified and stuff like that. So, what the way that now number one is to always find out what is there on the horizon of your particular field. Like when I'm in HR, what I'm seeing is in the future there's going to be a lot of demand for analytics, HR analytics. There's a lot of
Hmm.
people who can analyze that data and who can make sense out of it. And there's going to be a lot of demand for virtual learning, e-learning. These are
Hmm.
the trends which I can spot in my field. So
Hmm.
like all of us are subject matter experts in whichever field you are in. Suppose like you're in biology, or you're in, say, science related careers. What I am noticing right now is even as a recruiter, I have demand for biostatisticians. People who are
Hmm.
making who are combining this. So whichever field you're in, you will know over the horizon. You will know over the horizon what is coming. What is there? The reluctance in there there is a reluctance in us to go and learn that new thing and come out of our comfort
Hmm.
zones and learn the new thing.
Hmm.
But now that's not. If you want to survive and if you want to prepare yourself for the future, you will always have to be ready to jump off the cliffs. You will have to be ready to keep learning, to keep growing, to keep diving into something which you're completely not comfortable in. So that is something which is a must for any kind of scenario, thing. So that comes to the hard skill part. I would like to also talk about the soft skills part. Is what the most important quality which has come forward in this pandemic is resilience, is perseverance, is resilience, is innovation. These are the, I think, my top three skills which I would think. And even if your parents, even when you're preparing your children as well, I mean, when we give them such very closeted environments where they're only learning from their books and stuff like that, they're never going to learn what is resilience. Let them go somewhere, let them fall, let them fail, and then come back and bounce back. And and even if you look at all the success stories which have come out in COVID, are the ones who have seen that कि ये नहीं चल रहा है तो चलो next मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, what can I do, what I think. I know so many of these industries, especially event management, travel and tourism. These are completely collapsed in these 2 years, and there have been people who have been like, oh my god, what? And then there are other people who have, like a friend of mine who runs a wedding planning event management company. So she said, okay, this is not happening. So what now? So of course she was in touch with a lot of caterers and stuff like that. So she started with this huge, uh, this COVID kind of diet kind of a thing. And believe me, she's doing so amazingly well that even
Hmm.
after the thing goes away, I mean, she's going to be continuing with this business rather than her original business. So, so resilience and innovation are the two important soft skills which one must develop to cope up with future.
True that. So, as rightly said, diversion and multitasking is the future today, and definitely wherein the HR and our official all the official jobs are concerned, I'm sure they are getting on all over. Okay, so just to know more about it, so could you just elaborate on what is the mindset one must, develop in these times, for now and for the future? So, what kind of a mindset would you, kind of
Okay,
suggest?
okay. Yeah, I think I touched upon that already. But any case, so like I said,
Right.
it is all about it's a lot about resilience and fighting a thing and seeing what is there over the horizon, and being willing
Okay.
to take that step out of your comfort zone, willing to be jumping off the cliff and hoping to open the parachute along the way. Because more than anything, even the skills like hard skills you can go and learn and all, but unless you have that will कि मेरे को कुछ नया सीखना है कुछ, I will think, and it's going to be difficult, I'm not going to find it easy, why am I doing it? But then you still have to like, unless you kind of take that step to go and do difficult things, I mean, that's a way to survive in this scenario. So same like I've seen with a lot of job profiles as well. Like, people say कि, I mean, a lot of engineers earlier, there was only this Java and stuff that were working, and they pivoted. They learned design thinking. They learned data analytics, which is right now trending in the market. And so the ones who have done that are the ones who have been able to ride the wave, and the ones who haven't done that are the ones who are sunk. So yeah, so it's definitely going to be learning and innovation,
So
and
yes, so yes,
yeah.
yes, definitely, as rightly said, learning and growing in your own fields with all different, you know, at all different capacities, I guess, is the call for today, and it was forever, and all the more now. Okay, so any few, you know, as being an HR and for financial, would you suggest any few of your traits which we really need to imbibe, like certain IT qualities, or as in particular, anything if you would know?
Okay,
Means
so
soft languages or any of that, which you would suggest them, like Java and all, we have heard at our times. Okay, so like, so anything more which you see in your CVs and which you suggest to our,
for HR,
our
you're talking about HR.
no, I'm talking about your finance, which you are doing, the financial recruitments, which you,
Recruitments, okay. So,
yes,
so,
so
so, so okay. If you're asking me what are going to be the in-demand jobs, say in the next 4 5 years,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
over the horizon and stuff like that. See, whatever one is definitely anything which is connected to IT is going to be so much in demand because most of the companies are transitioning to the digital space. So there is a huge demand, and anybody into AI and machine learning,
Yes,
fintech,
that's
and those areas, like artificial intelligence, machine learning, fintech, are definitely going to be the top of the line careers. Other than this, like, what I'm seeing, digital people in the digital marketing space are also, because now it's all about the number of eyeballs, and you can see what influencers can do. Ronaldo was in the news, and Elon Musk was in the news for one particular statement they made, how the share prices can go up and down and stuff like that.
yes,
So
yes.
influencer marketing, digital marketing, in the marketing space, I'm seeing a lot of influencer digital marketing. I'm seeing a lot of marketing analytics, which is so much in demand. So people
Hmm.
who can analyze the markets and study. Like, okay, there is also a demand for gaming, and gaming is getting used in corporates. So, for example,
Okay.
now Starbucks recently,
Hmm.
not recently, this was some time back, that they to find out the consumer taste and say choice. When the person is checking out in the checkout counter, they would have something like an iPad, and they give you a game. If you want to make a coffee immediately, so what are the ingredients you'll reach out to? So a lot of people reach out for mocha. A lot of people. So it all also, it's very area wise sometimes, or very country wise, or so they're able to make out the consumer taste, the consumer focus through gaming. So that is again another area within marketing. So within
Hmm.
marketing, when you're wanting to launch a new product, it is not only through just your thing, but also through finding out the customer experience and feedback, which is going to be thing. Now customer has become the center of any launch, any market thing. So everything is going to be that. So there is a field which is called design thinking, which completely it's about the customer experience and thinking from the point of view of the customer consumer. So that is another field which a lot of companies. So design thinking has nothing to do with design, but they use the design toolkits for marketing, for user experience. So this is another field where there's going to be a demand. One more field I really like to state is it's not all about IT and maths and all. There is psychology is very much in demand, emotional
Hmm.
intelligence, mental wellness, mental health. because
Mentally.
like, the more we are getting glued to the screens, there are so many other issues coming up with youngsters, teenagers, with older people, there is a lot of uh, issues that are being thrown up, and mental health
Yes.
professions are going to be in demand. And also psychology, there's another part of psychology which is called cognitive sciences, which talks about how the human mind thinks and how the human mind behaves. And so these psychologists are getting used with for artificial intelligence, because what is artificial intelligence is you're trying to you're trying to see how a human mind would think and behave in those terms, right? So they are taking the help. An IT guy is working along with a psychologist on the side, and then creating these creating these experiences or products, and creating the intelligence around that. So psychologists are majorly in demand for a lot of fields. So yeah, like these are some of the fields and areas which are going to see a lot of demand and thing. And whichever field, like I said, always make tech your partner, because tech and data, these are the two things. If you make them your partner, you are going to be in demand. You're going to be well paid, and you're going to be. There's going to be a market for you. That
Oh, amazing, Nisha. That was an imperative, information which we all need to know today. So, any particular message you would like to give our viewers? Mostly, we have on our platform are the women entrepreneurs here. So, Vicky
yeah.
is promoting them all the time. So, any
Okay.
important particular message for them for today?
I think this is one of the best times for women entrepreneurs, because most as women, our major concern is that we want to do everything. We want to be the super women who thing, and we feel super guilty about even if one aspect of our life is not taken care of. If our
True,
kids are just
true.
left back, or if we are leaving. I mean, sometimes if your husband is moving to a different he's got promoted, he's moving to Delhi, and you would, even if you're the vice president of the company, you would go and sacrifice your job and to be with him. So now with so much of online and so much of work, and believe me, now the hybrid model is here to stay, even if it's not going to be completely worked on, the hybrid. Because even most of the employees are any kind of polls that have been taken, people have been voting, we don't want to travel, to
Yes.
different parts of the thing just to do our job, and we can definitely do it here. So this is a great boom for women, because you're here, and you have your kid next to you, and you can still look after the kid, and you can still
True.
you can still be working and still be doing amazing work, and thing, because we have everything in us. We have the talent, we have the thing. The only thing that we didn't have was the time. We didn't have the support system to kind of manage the entire piece. And now this scenario has brought about that um, has opened up this phase for us where we can try and manage everything. So I think this is the best time for women entrepreneurs. And also another amazing thing which is brought about, you see a lot of grannies, grandmas, and people who are not making these YouTube videos and posting them, and so much of
Yes.
confidence and so much of thing. You don't need, like earlier, now it was a big thing to go and shoot a video and shoot a, or it was such a big task. It was expensive and thing. Right now,
Yes.
you just put a cell that those ring cameras in front of you and just shoot yourself. You don't even need your husband to come and do that for you. And
True.
what amazing! There is so much of amazing content which is coming out. So women, in terms of teaching, I'm seeing women who have and plus there are a lot of these portals which have come up, like for example Guru Hub, etc., where it's all a set of teachers, and we can teach people in India, we can teach people
Hmm.
abroad, because India has been great at teaching math, science. We've been on the hub, like in terms of, so this is now this is giving you a window to the world, where you can be teaching from your home, and you can be reaching out to any corner of the thing. I think a lot has been spoken about the home kitchen, so I'm not going to get again into it. But believe
Hmm.
me, I mean, those people have been doing amazing very well. And if you're smart enough, so rather than just doing a simple product, if you make it a gluten free, and you make it sugar free,
Hmm.
and you make it I know my friend of mine is doing something in sushis. You make it a little more exotic, you can charge double, triple of whatever
Yes, of
the amount,
course.
and people are willing to do that for an experience. I know a lot of people who have moved to hosting home parties and stuff like that, like
Hmm.
almost a lot of these event managers, because now people have realized, let's let's have a smaller gathering, let's make it more personal, and let's make it more special and make it more exotic. People are willing to spend money for experiences. So if you're able to give them that kind of an experience, if you're able to use your mind, use your innovation, use your creativity in these areas, then this event management thing can be brought to the homes and to a smaller thing, and people are willing to pay at a higher price for that, that way. So the weddings have got smaller, but the return gifts and the things which are going out have been becoming bigger and bigger. So that's another area, which is amazing area that I can see women entrepreneurs. HR is another area I'm seeing a lot of scope, because see the things that we can do in terms of goal setting, in terms of learning, in terms of, because now it's like we just mentioned in the last topic, it's all about innovation, learning, it's building your mindset. So how are you going to build a mindset? So you have this plethora of these experts sitting right behind your screen. Earlier, if I want to listen to a Tony Robbins, I have to pay so much money and go to Singapore or where US and spend a bomb and thing. I have Tony Robbins right in my screen, and so the training and the training industry, the learning industry, e-learning. I can get a Stanford, a Harvard course at my doorstep. So I think our training and booming industry is another place where women entrepreneurs can do extremely well, because we have that in our DNA that we excel at these kind of fields. And I of course I don't believe that any field is a restriction. Data analytics. My sister-in-law is a data thing, and she's been and this has been a boom for her, because she's been handling those multiple complex jobs sitting at home and stuff like that. So, I mean, the sky is the limit, guys. And in fact, even if you were earlier feeling a little difficult for you to take the plunge, believe me, this is the time for you to go and take that plunge. Go and take the plunge. And the best thing about today is, it's okay to fail. I mean, see, none of the videos are perfect. None of the things, you can fail. You can show your bloopers. You can show how you failed. You fell down, and something didn't record. Kuch bhi bata sakte ho, because people want real. So I think it's a wonderful feel that time to cash in on.
Amazing. I mean, I'm awestruck with all the information our viewers are getting, and of course, we will definitely get you back again in the future. So for now, I'll give on to Mamta for taking it ahead. Yes, thank you, Nisha, for all the information.
I think, Nisha, we had a lovely evening, and you have covered up each and every aspect on the working front, on the professional front, and on the entrepreneur's front. It is just a leap which a woman need to take ahead. However you fail or you go ahead, it doesn't matter. The experience will count, because the kind of confidence you will gain during that process will take you at another level. And thank you so much for all the inputs. Yes, you need to be flexible enough. You need to be adjustable. You need to take on new things. That's the learning from the session altogether, what we had with Nisha. And stay tuned with us. We would be coming and joining you shortly on What Woman Wants with one of our special guests again. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Nisha, for joining us. Thank you, Anamika, for that lovely
Thank you.
Yes. It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's a lovely work that you girls are doing, because I know what a big task it is to put this up and put the whole show up and get people to think, and it's a wonderful work that you're doing. And thanks for having me.
Yes,
thank you,
we looking forward
to
have you again. And yes, we can have a great association in future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.